And now we turn to a special report on the Florida Lottery, looking at where all that money raised by the lottery really goes. UMTV's Julian Glover joins us in studio with answers. Julian?
Thanks, Siobhan. It's something that most people have never thought about. When you buy a lottery ticket, where does the money go? The easy answer is the money goes to Florida's education budget. But 25 years and $24 billion after the lottery was created, K-12 public schools see very little of that money in their classrooms.
Here it is, $580 million jackpot.
With jackpots this big, it's no surprise, even after 25 years, Florida residents are still racing to convenience stores to try their luck. Of course, very few walk-away winners, but those who walk away empty-handed take comfort in knowing the funds raised by the Florida Lottery go to a good cause.
As far as we know, to education.
To support the schools.
But exactly how much goes to education? In fiscal year 2011-2012, ticket sales totaled a whopping $4.5 billion. But as you can see from this breakdown, just 30%, less than a third, goes directly to educating Florida's kids. The Florida Lottery started 25 years ago. Since then, $24 billion deposited into the state's education trust fund. But little makes it into public school classrooms, the very place voters had in mind when they created the lottery in the first place. That's because so much of the money is already spoken for. It has to go into mandated state projects like Florida Bright Futures, workforce development, and debt repayment. That took more than 52% of funding for the current fiscal year. The losers? Grades K through 12.
The only thing the lottery has allowed us to do at this point is give school recognition money.
Recognition money identifies improving schools and those with an A rating. They get an annual bonus of about $70 per student. Each school determines how the money is used, but it's not where you might think.
It's almost all for teachers, teacher bonuses.
Jessica Macias is a teacher in the Miami-Dade school system. After an improvement in last year's rating, she got one of those bonuses, $500.
It's not anything that's going to help my kids year long with the resources that they need.
The Miami-Dade public school system is no stranger to budget shortfalls. When the economy tanked during the recession, Florida's education spending was cut in half.
Ever since our revenue has gone down, lottery funds have not helped pick up that bill.
This leaves teachers like Jessica Macias in a bind.
So let me get this right. You have to ask online for funding for your kids if you just want to buy a couple of textbooks.
I would need to go to private funders. Usually a lot of teachers use Donors Choose, which is a website that helps to link up private donors to teachers in order to get that money.
Education Week magazine gives Florida schools an overall grade of B-. But when it comes to per student funding, Florida gets an F. Meanwhile, lottery ticket sales for 2013 are projected to be higher than ever.
We're also looking at bigger games and brighter futures for the students of Florida.
But that can only happen if there are fewer restrictions on how the lottery money is allocated.
Funds coming from Tallahassee for education should be as broad and as flexible as possible.
It's hard, especially when you want your kids to succeed.
That's exactly right. We all want our kids to get the best possible education, and over the years, the Florida Lottery has done a lot to make that happen, sending more than 500,000 Florida students to college, including more than 40,000 students. But several of the educators I spoke with believe that the money would better serve Florida's kids if more of it was used for K-12 education, the foundation for the leaders of tomorrow. I'm Julian Glover. Now back to you at the news desk.